hello everyone viewers, and Chainsw Man hasn't appeared on this channel for a while. The last time being essentially 3 years ago when Denji famously fought 8-Bit Ryan. Try and guess what that fight is inspired from. That's right, the Katana Man fight. And Katana Man is my favorite character in the Chainsw Man series, mainly because of his sick design and the fact that he's the only character that has personal beef with Denji rather than Chainsw Man. At least that's what I think because I'm an anime only watcher right now. So in this video I'll be ranking every Katana Man, and since it's been a while since I've made a ranking every video, I'll quickly explain it. It's basically me ranking a certain ability from various games to determine if they're good in their own respective game. So with that being said, without further ado, let's begin. This took me a total of 15 attempts to get. Why does it have to be like this? If it weren't for the Christmas event that they recently added, I was not gonna add this game. So thank you developers. So Katana Man comes with 3 moves excluding your M1 and M2. Air slashes, stunning stab, and counter cut. All of which are pretty good moves. A combo that I like to do is R, then M1 halfway, then stunning stab, then ending the combo with air slashes. The counter cut is a good move to use since you don't really get punished if you mistime it, and if your opponent is countered, you'll be able to use the R or air slash move. Speaking of the R or M2 move, that move lives up to the title of being spammable as the cooldown isn't that high. The air slash move is a really useful projectile move which I wasn't expecting in Katana Man's moveset, so that's a pretty generous addition on the developer's part. The main issue that I could really see is just being able to aim your moves, which is a common issue throughout these games, but that's more on the user rather than the hybrid itself. Also, a pro tip that applies to hybrids in general in this game: if you're grinding or in combat and you kill your opponent, I recommend you untransform before you consume your opponent. Not only will it save blood, but it's much more optimal since you can now use your contract moves just in case your opponent comes after you. So overall, Devil's Heart Katana Man is pretty good. I enjoy using him to grind in game and it's pretty serviceable in combat. So for Devil's Heart Katana Man, I'll put it in A tier. Just get it while you still can though, because you don't want to go through that Devil's Heart grind. Chainsw Man Testing Place Katana Man is a pretty good hybrid to use. It comes with 3 moves: Draw Dash, Powerful Slash, and Katana Slash. Draw Slash and Powerful Slash being your heavy hitters, and Katana Slash being a combo extender or ending move. The Draw Slash and Powerful Slash deal so much damage, it's honestly insane to me how fast the cooldown is. Despite the high damage count, they both have their flaws. The Draw Slash move has a limited range, and being a move where you're just gonna have to time it because it's very easy to just miss even though your opponent is close to you. But you don't really get punished when you miss, and you only like freeze for like less than a second. So it's a more of a low risk, high reward move. The Powerful Slash move on the other hand is more of a medium risk, high reward move. Since you can deal a hefty amount of damage to your opponent, you are leaving yourself open as a result since you have to stop for a bit. Not to mention having a shorter hitbox. Also, this hybrid does struggle against projectile heavy hybrids such as the Crossbow Devil, Gun Devil, Sniper Devil, or any hybrids with various projectile moves. So I recommend that you constantly run to your opponent and avoid distancing to keep the battle close range. So for Testing Place Katana Man, I think it's a really good ability to use. Just be wary of which ability you're going up against, and I will be very cautious going up against projectile heavy hybrids. But other than that, it's a very dangerous close range hybrid. So for Testing Place Katana Man, I'll place it in low A tier. Arena Clashes Katana Man is an interesting ability because there are some instances where it's really good and instances where it's not exactly ideal. Let's take a look at the base. So for the base, we have 4 moves: Elbow, Shot, Bullseye, and Akane, with the Akane carrying over for the Awakening. The Bullseye and Shot move are decent long range moves, with the Elbow move being a good combo extender, but it is sometimes impossible to land due to you having to get real close to your opponent in order to land it, which is why it's more optimal to use it as a combo extender. The Akane move is really good to use to overwhelm your opponent. Basically, you summon Akane to stun your opponent, dealing 18 damage. You can use this move essentially any time, whether it is before or after a combo. Honestly, the base is pretty decent. You're just gonna have to really like overwhelm your opponent to gain that Awakening bar. Now for the Awakening, you have 3 new moves: Rabbit Slash, Sword Draw Slash, and Sword Draw Slash again. I don't think that's supposed to be called that. The first Sword Draw Slash is a great move with it dealing great damage despite its short range. The other Sword Draw Slash move is a move that I will use sparingly since it has such a long charge up. The damage output is worth it, but just be very cautious. The Rebel Slash move is pretty good. I would personally use it after stunning my opponent with the first slash move. Yeah, I got nothing else to say for that. All in all, Arena's Clashes Katana Man is a decent hybrid to use. The Awakening is amazing, but the base is a bit iffy. Regardless, I still think it's a good ability to use if you're able to overcome the base's flaws. So for Arena Clashes Katana Man, I'll put it in B tier. So apparently Anime Battle Arena has Katana Man, but as a skin for Denji rather than his own character. So in this case, we'll be only looking at the base and the hybrid form since the awakening is just a Pochita form. Pochita? The full review will be in the ranking every Chainsw Man video, which will come out if you meet a certain requirement at the end of the video. As for the ability itself, it has mostly moves that belong to Denji, which makes sense since it is the skin for Denji. But the Blood Frenzy and Grind move from the hybrid form does fit well for Katana Man. Honestly, Katana Man should be his own separate ability, maybe like a DLC or a prestige character. Like here, let me make the moveset for you. So the base, you got the gunshot move and a move where he takes his hand out and stabs the opponent with a knife, and make his hybrid form his awakening and add the dash move that he does, but copy and paste that 4 more times for each move, with it dealing an absurd amount of damage each time. Since you guys are so good at making ludicrously unbalanced moves, like there you go, that's your Katana Man ability, which is an unbalanced mess that everyone hates to go up against. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. You guys are known for your... Hey guys, so I kind of got into a bit of a rant here, but just to run it down, the base is okay. You're basically just gonna have to spend most of your time trying to increase your blood meter to use the hybrid form, which isn't too hard, especially with the moves provided. I suggest using the Severance move and following up with the Bloodbath move. It brings up the blood meter a good amount. The hybrid form itself is pretty good since it's essentially a mini awakening, and since I'm not able to use the awakening form, this is a huge plus. Just be careful using the chain grab move since it is blockable. Also, I like how Katana Man just lights himself on fire in the training mode. It's so unnecessary yet very in character for him to do. Overall, I think Anime Battle Arena's Katana Man is a solid ability to use, although not having access to an awakening puts you at a huge disadvantage. So for Anime Battle Arena's Katana Man, I'll put it in C tier. So apparently someone by the name of Katana Man Fan 41 made a whole entire obby dedicated to Katana Man, which is honestly a stellar commitment. Like, you're up there with the Reze obby, which is a game I'll cover sometime soon. The obby itself is okay. It's pretty easy for the most part. It took me like 3 tries after some fumbles, but overall it's not that hard. And once you reach the end, you will be greeted with Katana Man dancing in front of a satin Denji. Man, that's tough. For Katana Man's obby, I think it's a nice, short and sweet obby. I like the little dance that he does at the end and the fact that it has music that changes once it ends. Also, I did a speedrun and got this time from my run. Let me know in the comments below what you guys got. So for Katana Man's obby, I'll be putting it in C tier. It's a nice, short obby. Yeah, you guys thought that was the only joke game, huh? Well, there's Chainsw Man Tycoon with a Katana Man section. This is your usual Tycoon game with all the perks and tedious aspects. Although this time, I didn't spend 3 hours completing the Tycoon, so props to that. And just to get this out of the way, there aren't any hybrid abilities in this game, only skins and gears, which is a bummer, but hey, I mean, technically you're Katana Man. Also, why do you have to spend 15k on a fire hydrant like that? What? Also, the finished Tycoon looks like your usual Tycoon, and it's not my first rodeo. I made a whole video dedicated to a Tycoon before, and that game is miles better than this game. Mainly because of the fact that that Tycoon game has like actual stands that you can use. Like sure, bonus points for the skins and gears, but you can do better than that. I'll put it in D tier. Like, hey, at least the gears are useful. You know, it's been a while since I've made a figure review. Like 7 years to be exact. Man, I'm old. But regardless, I got the SH Figuarts Katana Man as a gift alongside the Marvel Legends Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from my cousin. Also, cousin, if you're watching this, thank you so much. You know who you are. And I really like this figure. I really enjoyed its sculpt and details presented on the figure, and it did a good job of translating his appearance to a figure form. The trench coat is made out of a semi-soft plastic, which allows for more posability, which is pretty nice. The chest piece is also made out of a softer plastic as well, which is pretty neat. Also, the blood added on the blades is a really nice addition, but it would have been nice to have like an alternative clean version. But let's be honest, his blades are never gonna be clean. The accessories that SH Figuarts Katana Man comes with is a little bit limited. He comes with 2 fist hands, 2 relaxed hands, 2 action focus hands, at least that's what I think it's for, and an alternative screaming head. The accessories are okay for the most part. I would have loved to have an alternate human head alongside his regular hands to recreate his transformation scene, and might as well just throw in the clean blades as an alternative as well. It does leave a lot to be desired, but I'm cool with what we have. The articulation is pretty nice, and I'm not really sure how to describe this section since this is a voiceover. I could just randomly say swivel here. Props to you if you know that reference. But the articulation itself is a step up for me personally since I'm so used to the standard Marvel Legends articulation. Yeah, the majority of my collection is Marvel Legends, which I am very proud of, don't get the wrong idea. The handling of the figure is a lot more smooth, with the joints and hinges feeling easier to handle compared to a Marvel Legends figure. Whereas some Marvel Legends figures have joints that are either too stiff or just very loose. I already mentioned this before, but the chest piece being made out of a softer plastic does help with the torso articulation, allowing it to bend forward a lot more. The only downside I have with the articulation is that the posability is slightly limited due to the trench coat. But other than that, it's pretty good. The closest figure that I've had that has similar articulation is the Tamashii Nation's Pacific Rim Uprising Gypsy Avenger figure, which I reviewed 7 years ago. I'm old. And finally, here is the size comparison. Here's Katana Man next to Marvel Legends Webman, Studio Series Battle Trap, starring lineup LeBron James, and finally Pigman and Carnosaurus. Overall, I really enjoy having Katana Man in my collection. I'm very happy with it. The appearance, details, and articulation are amazing, and yeah, there could have been more added to the accessories, but it's still a great figure nonetheless. So for SH Figuarts Katana Man, I'm just gonna put it at A tier. It's an odd inclusion, but hey, you can't go wrong with a figure review. So that's all for this video, and here is the final tier list. I really enjoyed making this video and using my favorite hybrid, Goattana Man, in various games. Let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts on Katana Man and who is your favorite character in Chainsw Man. Also, the Chainsw Man Assassins arc just got announced, so can't wait to watch that. And if you want me to rank every Chainsw Man, like the video, cause I will get to work on it if it gets 15 likes. There will also be a community post that you can vote for, which acts as an alternative in case we don't reach the goal. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.